Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to tell you about the most embarrassing thing that happened to me last year. I tried to follow an English painting tutorial, and what was supposed to be a beautiful, serene sunset turned into what can only be described as a ketchup accident on canvas. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this story. So, picture this. It was a rainy Saturday afternoon, and I was scrolling through YouTube trying to find something interesting to watch. I had been learning English for about 6 months, and my teacher always told me, Sarah, you need to practice listening to real English content, not just textbooks. That's when I stumbled upon this gorgeous painting tutorial. The thumbnail showed this absolutely stunning sunset with soft oranges melting into pink, purple clouds floating peacefully across the sky, and this golden reflection on calm water. The title said, Easy Sunset Painting for Beginners, Step by Step. I thought to myself, perfect! I'll practice my English and learn to paint. How hard could it be? I immediately went to the art supply store and bought everything the instructor mentioned: acrylic paints, brushes, canvas, palette, and water cup. I was so excited. I felt like a real artist already. When I got home, I set up my little workspace in the kitchen, put my laptop on the counter, and pressed play on the video. The instructor was this cheerful British woman named Emma. She had such a soothing voice, and she spoke clearly, which I really appreciated as a learner. But here's where things started to get interesting. Emma began the tutorial by saying, first, we're going to apply a generous coat of white gesso to prime our canvas. I paused the video. Gesso? What on earth was gesso? I had never heard this word before. I quickly looked it up in my dictionary. It's a kind of white paint primer. Okay, fine, but I didn't have any gesso. I thought, well, I have white paint. That should work, right? So I just used regular white acrylic paint. First mistake. Emma continued, now let's create our background wash. We'll use titanium white, cadmium yellow, and a touch of cadmium red. I looked at my paints. They didn't have fancy names like cadmium yellow. They just said yellow and red. I grabbed what I thought looked right and squeezed generous amounts onto my palette. Emma said a touch of red, but I wasn't sure how much a touch meant in English. Was it a little bit? A medium amount? I guessed and added what I thought was reasonable. The tutorial moved fast. Emma was blending colors smoothly while explaining, you want to use gentle, sweeping motions, almost like you're caressing the canvas. I tried to copy her movements, but my brush seemed to have a mind of its own. Where her sunset had soft, dreamy layers, mine looked like someone had thrown paint at the canvas and hoped for the best. But I kept going. I was determined. Then came the critical moment. Emma said, now we're going to add depth by gradually introducing our crimson tones. She dipped her brush delicately into the red paint and created these beautiful, subtle streaks across the sky. I did the same thing, or at least I thought I did, but something went terribly wrong. Maybe I used too much paint. Maybe my red was too bright. Maybe I pressed too hard. Whatever the reason, my gentle crimson tones turned into angry red slashes across the canvas. I stepped back to look at my work. It didn't look like a sunset anymore. It looked like someone had murdered a bottle of ketchup and mustard and let them die dramatically on my canvas. I started laughing. I couldn't help it. This was supposed to be peaceful and serene, but it looked like a crime scene. But you know what? I didn't give up. Emma kept talking in her calm, encouraging voice, saying things like, don't worry if it's not perfect. Art is about expression, not perfection. I really needed to hear that. I continued following the tutorial, adding the dark silhouette of trees in the foreground. Emma made it look so easy. She created these elegant, graceful tree shapes with just a few brush strokes. Mine looked like angry broccoli stuck in the ground. By the end of the hour-long tutorial, Emma had created a masterpiece. It was breathtaking. The colors blended perfectly, the composition was balanced, and it genuinely looked like a peaceful sunset you'd want to hang on your wall. Mine, on the other hand, looked like abstract art gone wrong. Or maybe modern art? I wasn't sure. But one thing was certain, it definitely did not look like a serene sunset. I sat there staring at my painting, covered in red and yellow paint myself. I had paint on my hands, on my shirt, somehow even in my hair. I took a photo of Emma's finished painting from the video and then took a photo of mine. The contrast was hilarious. I posted both images on my Instagram with the caption, "Expectation versus Reality, English Painting Tutorial Edition." The response was amazing. My friends commented things like, "I'm crying laughing," and "At least you tried." But the best part came the next day. One of my English-speaking friends commented, "I love that you followed an English tutorial. Your listening skills must be getting so good. And honestly, your painting has character. It's uniquely yours." That comment made me realize something important. Yes, my painting was a disaster. Yes, it looked nothing like what it was supposed to look like. But I had spent 1 full hour listening to English, understanding instructions, learning new vocabularies, and actually creating something. I learned words like gesso, blend, crimson, caress, silhouette, and composition. I understood phrases like a touch of, gradually introduce, and sweeping motions. More importantly, I learned that making mistakes is completely okay. Actually, it's more than okay. It's necessary. When you're learning a language, you're going to have moments where things don't turn out the way you expect. You're going to misunderstand words. You're going to use the wrong amount of something because you didn't quite catch what the speaker said. You're going to create your own version of things, and it might look like a ketchup accident. But here's the beautiful truth. Every single one of those mistakes is teaching you something. Every time I couldn't understand a word and had to look it up, I was learning. Every time I tried to copy Emma's movements and failed, I was practicing. Every moment I spent engaged with real English content, I was improving. I kept that painting. It's hanging in my kitchen now. Whenever I look at it, I don't see a failed sunset. I see proof that I'm brave enough to try new things in English. I see evidence that I can follow complex instructions in another language. I see a reminder that learning doesn't have to be perfect to be valuable. Since that day, I've followed many more English tutorials. I've tried cooking recipes, dance lessons, craft projects, and yes, more painting tutorials. Some turn out great, some turn out terrible, but all of them make me a better English learner. And honestly, my paintings are slowly getting better. Last month, I tried another sunset tutorial, and it actually looked like a sunset. It wasn't perfect, but you could definitely tell what it was supposed to be. So here's my advice to you. Find something you're interested in, whether it's painting, cooking, gaming, makeup, sports, or anything else, and look for English content about it. Follow tutorials, watch videos, listen to podcasts. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Don't stress if your results look like a ketchup accident. The point is that you're exposing yourself to real English, learning practical vocabulary, and having fun while doing it. And what if you mess up? Laugh about it. Take a picture. Share it with your friends. Make it a good story. Because the best learning happens when you're enjoying yourself, even when things go hilariously wrong. If you've ever tried following an English tutorial and had it turn into a complete disaster, please share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your own ketchup accident moments. And if you enjoyed this story and found it helpful for your English learning journey, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I am going to share a new story every week, all designed to help you improve your English while having a good time. Trust me, you don't want to miss that story. That's all for today, my friends. Thanks so much for watching and joining me today. I'll see you in the next video where I'll share another adventure from my English learning journey. Until then, stay curious and stay brave. And remember, mistakes are just proof that you're trying. Keep going and keep learning. See you next time, my friends. Bye-bye for now.